Is putting out guidance also on vaccines and immunization considerations, but the important thing right now is to realize that this outbreak can be contained with contact tracing and isolation.
The international spread of monkeypox has created widespread fear, which has been heightened by the fact that the World Health Network has classified the outbreak as a pandemic. Given the fact that the symptoms of chickenpox and monkeypox are so similar to one another, it is very common for people to confuse the two diseases. However, despite their similarities, these two conditions should not be confused with one another in any way. There are significant differences between the two. Welcome back to Limitless. It's been a while, but we're back. We want to thank you for watching and making it possible for us to keep doing what we do best. Why is this matter getting so much attention in media right now? To put into perspective, this is the greatest outbreak that has been documented outside of Africa in the recent times. This whole thing started just a few weeks ago with a family in London. Several members of the family became diagnosed with monkeypox after one of the family members traveled to Nigeria, a country where the disease is common.
That first UK case, which was from a traveller in Nigeria, is now thought to be unconnected to the wider outbreak, but the UK went on quite quickly to report many more cases.
However, after then, cases were found in a variety of different places, including Portugal, Spain, and now Sweden, as well as one case in the United States of America, numerous potential cases in Canada, and many more reported cases in other parts of Europe. It's an unusually larger outbreak for monkeypox, and only one of these people had a travel history to an endemic area. As a result, it can be deduced that everybody else is getting sick by some kind of community transmission. What are the chances that it's monkeypox? First things first, monkeys are not the source of the monkeypox virus. The disease is commonly referred to as monkeypox due to the fact that it was initially discovered from a monkey in Africa. However, the reservoir for the disease is found in rodents, more precisely rats in Central and West Africa. Since the beginning of this century, we have been aware of monkeypox, and the primary reason we have been interested in it is that it is related to smallpox. The symptoms are not quite as severe as those of smallpox, but are quite comparable. The majority of the time, it only results in a moderate illness, which means that the vast majority of people who contract it do not end up in the hospital. There is one strain that is more severe in the Congo Basin, and another strain that is found in West Africa that is not as severe. This particular strain appears to be the pathogen that is responsible for the recent outbreak. The first question you need to ask yourself is, do you believe that you may have been exposed? To contract the disease, you must have continuous and close contact with an infected individual, most of the time skin-to-skin contact. Because there are so few people in the world who now have it, there are not that many opportunities to get it. Even the most distant sections of some African countries, where it does occasionally circulate, the disease almost never affects children. If you were to become ill with monkeypox, the first thing you would notice is symptoms similar to those of the flu, such as feeling fatigued, generally ill, and having a high temperature. When the virus first begins to infiltrate your cells, this stage of the sickness is referred to by medical professionals as the invasion period. Because your immune system is gearing up to battle the infection, you may notice that your glands are feeling swollen. It has been reported that the West African strain of the virus, which is the one that we are dealing with, has a death rate of only 1%. However, those statistics pertain to persons living in Africa. Nearly all of the cases that have been reported in affluent countries have been quite mild, and severe sickness and death as a result of the disease are extremely uncommon. It has a long incubation period, anywhere between 1 and 2 weeks, which is beneficial because it allows us a lot of time to intervene if we know someone has had contact with the case. And we have both vaccinations and antiviral medications that are effective against it. The question now is, what distinguishes monkeypox skin blisters from chickenpox? There are distinctions in the type of rash that is caused by both diseases as well as the distribution of the rash on the skin. Both diseases generate a rash that looks like little blisters on the skin, while chickenpox only affects a single area of the body. Monkeypox has the potential to spread throughout the entire body. Any individual who gets infected with any of the two diseases will be able to discern the difference between the two. There's also a phenomenon known as synchronous lesions, which refers to the fact that all of the lesions typically look the same at any given stage of the disease. The skin lesions created by the monkeypox virus are also highly distinct in appearance when compared to those caused by chickenpox. In most cases, it is accompanied by lymph nodes that are enlarged and white in color, in contrast to the lymph nodes that are typically not swollen and are colored red. Dr. Rosamund Lewis, who works in the Emergencies Program for the World Health Organization, provides the following explanation. It begins with what we call macules. These are simply the yellow and red zones. After that, the papules appear on the skin. That is something that can be experienced physically. After this, the red bumps and lumps begin to blister and fill with a fluid that appears to be pus, but it is whitish in color. Once the pustules have dried out, they begin to scab over. The scabs will mend and fall off at some point in the future. Due to this fact, it is sometimes confused with chickenpox. Let's go on from here and discuss about the transmission of the two viruses. The monkeypox is most commonly transmitted to humans through close contact with diseased animals. A bite or scrape from an animal, contact with bodily fluids or feces, or the consumption of raw or undercooked meat are all potential routes of transmission. The monkeypox virus can also be passed on from mother to child during pregnancy. It is also possible for the virus to spread through direct contact with body fluids or sores that belong to an infected individual, as well as through contact with materials such as clothing or linens that have been in contact with body fluids or sores. On the other hand, chickenpox is a contagious disease that can readily spread from persons who already have the condition to those who have never had it or who have never been vaccinated against it. If one person in a close circle is infected, up to 90% of the susceptible persons in that person's immediate environment will also become ill. The chickenpox virus often travels from person to person through intimate contact with an infected individual. People who have had chickenpox or who have been vaccinated against the disease almost never develop it again. Even if they do, the severity of the symptoms is far less. DNA amplification techniques such as the PCR test can be performed to test for these diseases and can assist determine which virus is causing the rash. It is crucial to note that there are also particular tests that can also differentiate between the two. Even though monkeypox was found for the first time in a laboratory in 1958, researchers believe rats are the most common monkeypox carriers in their natural environment. The disease is most prevalent in West and Central Africa, particularly in regions that are in close proximity to tropical rainforests. Rope squirrels, tree squirrels, Gambian pouched rats, and dormice have all been identified as probable carriers of the disease. It's likely that the virus has been going around among these animals for a really long time. In addition to this, the majority of animal populations have survived the virus. Is it painful then? In most cases, it is not an unbearable and pleasant experience. There is a wide range of severity associated with the condition. Some persons have only 1 or 2 blisters, while others are completely covered in blisters. Evidently, those folks who have it everywhere have been in horrific pain, whilst those others who have only a few don't appear to be suffering nearly as much at all. Well, that's it from this video. What do you think about the monkeypox virus? Have you also been infected with monkeypox but confused it with chickenpox? Share your thoughts by commenting below. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and share this video with your friends to help spread awareness. Also, consider subscribing to our channel for more interesting videos every week.